And these notches have created what are called hanging valleys. So carved out of the mountain face and suspended above the actual valley floor are these very isolated and out of the way little hidden valleys known as hanging valleys. So this is the hanging valley of Waialae. Very spectacular, huh? And of course, and it has a fantastic view of the entirety of the North Shore as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Now from here we're going to be crossing what we call the high saddle. That's going to move us over into the Hanalei River Valley.
So many cool stuff.
Say that again? You have a question? Nope? Oh. Alright, so pretty much everything we're seeing working our way inland from here is part of the Halealea Forest Reserve. It's all state-owned, protected land, and then down below us, the Hanalei River. So when you get into Hanalei, you come down the hill out of Princeville, you go over a little one-lane bridge, you're crossing over the Hanalei River there. Now, the Hanalei River is fed by the Molokama over on our right here, as well as Waialae upstream from us. Both of these mountains see a tremendous amount of rainfall, especially through the winter months. That means that this river gets a lot of water flowing through it, and that makes it fairly prone to flooding. When this river floods, it will cut off access to Hanalei and the rest of the North Shore beyond from the rest of the island. So between that one-lane bridge and the actual town of Hanalei are some very low-lying areas. That's what physically will flood out. Typically that flooding is going to be fairly well forecasted, and it usually doesn't last for more than about 24 to 48 hours. So for the folks that live up on the North Shore, it is really just a normal part of life. For the kids that live on the North Shore, however, it is the Hawaiian equivalent to a snow day. So when it starts raining here, you'll see kids with their fingers crossed, eyes closed, and just praying that it rains enough to close that bridge down, even for a day or two, to keep them out of school. Now as we head upstream here, we're working our way towards Waialae. Now Mount Waialae, as I mentioned, gets a lot of rain. It gets so much rain that it is among and is sometimes the wettest spot on Earth. So within the heart of the Waialae crater, it will see an average annual rainfall of 451 inches. That is 39 and a half feet of rain.
Wow.
Now this area will get about a 4-story building's worth. It's wild, crazy, wet back there. The island of Kauai overall actually holds the Guinness Book of World Records for most rain accumulation in a 24-hour period. When back in 2019, we saw 49 and a half inches of rain in just 24 hours. That's over 2 inches an hour for 24 hours straight. Pretty wild. The Waialae crater is the remains of the original caldera, the volcano that formed this island. And the top of it is home to the 2 tallest points on the island. The north point is Waialae. Waialae stands at 5,148 feet above sea level. It is not the tallest point on the island, though. That would be Kauai, which is the southern peak. Kauai is just shy of 100 feet taller at 5,243 feet. Now, when we cross that ridgeline just back behind us, that puts us back onto the east side of the island. Out ahead of us off to our left, we have Haupu Ridge, where we started our tour today. Before heading back to the airport, we're actually going to come around the bend here and see if we can't get into the heart of the Waialae crater. So as we come around here, this wall that we're looking at is the back wall of the Waialae crater. That wall is just over 3,000 feet tall. Base of the crater just above 2,000 feet in elevation. The upper rim, shrouded in clouds up there, is just over 5,000 feet above sea level. Now when this island was being formed, there was a large conical-shaped volcano, a big cone-shaped volcano. Since the volcanoes here went extinct, erosion has been hard at work, and at some point in the very distant past, this eastern wall caved in on itself. That opened up a perfect access point for us helicopter pilots. Also set a pretty clever trap for clouds. So as I mentioned earlier in our tour, our prevailing weather patterns move from east to west. And that western progression of these clouds allows them to come walking in through this notch here. Once they come in, they're stuck in here. And they're forced to circulate around until they've shed that rain, that water, allowing that air mass to lighten up and lift out of here. It's pretty wild to think about that juxtaposition, that at one point this was a very active, very inhospitable volcano, only for today to have it be this cool, green, lush place that literally has water coming out of the rocks. So that water is flowing down from the Alakai swamp, filtering down through the lava rock and emerging here as the headwaters to the Wailua River. Wailua River is the longest navigable river in the entire state of Hawaii, and it all starts right back here, the heart of the Waialeale crater. Now, I thought we are going to be making our way back to the airport. Along the route, there's still a couple landmarks I can point out to you guys, talk about. So, just off our nose to the left, we've got the sleeping giant. So, sleeping giant, I've always seen this having his head on the left side, on the north side, kind of in the shade at the moment. His hands clasped on his belly just in the middle there, at the highest point, and then his legs stretched over to the right. And there are 3 trails that will get you up to the very top of the sleeping giant. From there you can get a fantastic view of the entirety of the east side. Stretching from Haupu Ridge, where we started our tour, back here to Waialeale, and all the way over to Anahola Range, which is just coming into view now. 2 of those trails are starting on the Mauka or inland side. One starts on the Makai side, or the ocean side. Each one of the 3 trails is about 2 miles long, and the 2 on the Mauka inland side are a little bit shadier, a little bit cooler, not quite as steep. It's a great hike to do in the morning or in the afternoon after doing something else with your morning. Eat lunch in Kauai and head up and do the hike in the afternoon. Just off to our right here, we've got this slight rise we see in the terrain. That is Kilauea Crater. Now, Kilauea was an active volcano about 1.6 million years ago, during the last period of volcanic activity that this island saw. While it's nowhere near as impressive or as imposing as Waialeale, it did play an integral role in the formation of the island as it formed the plains of the east side. So all the flat stuff we see around us here today was all formed by Kilauea volcano 1.6 million years ago. Now, at this stage, I do need to sign off just for a moment. I need to get our weather and our initial clearances, and then I'll be back with you briefly before needing to sign off until we're back on the ground. So, enjoy the views, hang tight, and I'll be right back with you.
What do you think? Is it pretty amazing?
Yeah. You're very quiet.
I'm a quiet person.
Oh.
So just down below us here on our right, we've got the Kauai Reservoir. This was the filming location for almost the entire Jungle Cruise movie, Disney movie with The Rock in it, which came out this last summer. They shot the vast majority of it right down there. This area is also where most of Tropic Thunder was shot, as well as various scenes from Jurassic Park. Now, over the years, something like 80 different movies have been filmed here on the island of Kauai. So Kauai and Hollywood certainly have quite a history together. Now, As we approach the ridgeline out ahead of us, I'm going to need to sign off with you until we're back on the ground. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for flying with me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope you have a great day, a fantastic stay here on the island, and a safe trip home. When we do get back on the ground, if you would please keep your headsets on, keep your seatbelts on, just until you see the ground crew making their way over to us, at which point feel free to twist the dial on that seatbelt. That'll pop all the buckles out. You can remove your headsets and start to make moves to help the ground crew help you out of here. If you got any photos, videos that you're excited about sharing on social media, we absolutely encourage you to do so, and we love it when you tag us in those posts. There's that Sunshine Helicopters on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We love to see what y'all saw and got excited about. Plus, it makes me look good for my boss, because that way he knows I'm actually out here taking you around and showing you all the sights. So, once again, we're going to be on the ground shortly. I appreciate your time and attention this afternoon, and I'll be back with you once we are on the ground.
Thanks, Arthur.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You can just tell us to take a picture.
Doesn't want to talk.
You guys kind of see this thing.
What?
Do you guys kind of see this thing down?
Can't hear you.
Hear your question. Park we could go play at.
I loved seeing the ocean. That was really pretty.
Yeah.
It was.
Because I feel like I'm in Call of Duty right now.
It kind of feels like a roller coaster at Disneyland. Felt a little motion sick. How about you guys?
Nope.
A little bit.
Just at the beginning I was.
It's really fun when you turn. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. So ground crew's going to be out here in just a second once again. Thank you all so much for your time. Have fun here on Kauai. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.